Good morning, everybody. Welcome back. Just thought to let you know that I haven't forgotten you and I am still doing the app. The app just seems to be taking a hell of a lot longer than I might have initially anticipated. Anyway, it's moved on quite a bit since I last gave you a preview of it. We're nearing the end of development now. I'm just trying to fix all the final variables in it and make sure that it emails various reports out to you that you might need. And it's also gained a quotation tool, which will be a premium feature should you wish to use that. So let me just talk you through the Lawn Mowing Business Plan section that we were looking at previously. And I've tidied it all up a bit so that everything now sits up here. So you set all your variables up here, and you can now choose between, which part of the world you're in. I've basically started off with all of the English-speaking places, plus Europe, because obviously that covers Ireland as well then. This sort of thing is the same. Setting up how long you can work, that all works the same. Your earnings is generally working the same. Your vehicle costs are working the same. It's just tidied up the interface a bit now. Equipment costs, that's all working out as the same in there. And your mower fuel costs, that all works the same. And your other annual bits and bobs are the same. So yeah, this tab's more or less the same as it was previously to what I showed you. It then gives you a rundown of, based on those variables, what your business plan is going to look like. And if you achieve to sell all of these hours for this much, your annual revenue is going to be this much. So you can see £59,000 there. You're then taking off your employment costs, your van costs, everything else, blah, 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 blah. You then get down to your total annual costs and what your annual profit would be. I don't know if this was in there previously, but basically to achieve that goal, you're going to need 49 customers that do £50 per cut. And then you can change these variables. So if you think actually you can get £100 per cut out of people, you can change this bottom one and have them, and if you can get everyone on the 30 annual visits rather than 18, I'll put 24 as an average. So let's say you're going to get 30 visits out of everyone. Then you're only going to need 19 customers at £100 a cut, each doing 30 cuts a year. So that's a really useful little tool there. So if everyone's on fortnightly, you're going to need 33 cuts at £100 a cut. If you think you only can do £50 a cut in your local market, and they only on fortnight, you're going to need 66 customers. So that's a really useful little tool there to help you work out exactly how many customers you need. And then what I've also done, I've now created this feature down here, so you can click that button and it will email you out an email directly you can send to yourself that has all of these information and variables in it. So then you've got that for your records. You can also then email yourself out different versions of it should you want to change the different parameters. So that is what's going on there. That's the business plan tab. So that one is pretty not too dissimilar to what we were looking at previously. I've also added a link out to the website at the top there, a link out to the YouTube, and then also to my Buy Me a Coffee link. I've got a user guide now in this tips tab down here. So this will, anything that you need to know, for example, what difference does the currency make on that business plan tab? That's showing you everything that does. Why do we multiply wages by 1.2 in the financial projections? Well, that'll tell you why. So that's really useful to help you understand where the numbers have come from. And then I've also just got a little About Me tab there. The biggest change, though, is going to be the premium feature, which is the quotation tool. So if we go back to the business plan, let's say that my rate here was £47 an hour, which is going to, my business plan is to sell 6 hours a day, 215 days a year for £47 an hour. Okay, so let's use this 47, and then it says down here, use 47 as the all-inclusive rate when pricing jobs. So if we jump into the quotation tab, so when you go into this, it's now going to open up this screen here, which this is going to be a premium feature. You'll get a 7-day free trial to it, and then it will be however much it works out as a month should you wish to use it in the future. But everyone will have a chance to have a 7-day free trial of it. You can then choose your region again, as before, and then that changes the units, whether it's miles per gallon, litres per kilometre, all that sort of stuff. And then your currency, dollars, euros, pounds, whatever. You can then input your customer name in here, John, and then in here the property name, the barn, for example. You've got a picker here to choose your date, so you've got that reminded for yourself. You then put in the lawn area, so there'll probably be a form to go alongside this, something like that, so you can calculate the lawn area. Let's say it's 2,000 square meters, which is half an acre, and you're going to be using a walk behind mower. And then you can choose down here your mower size, whether it's a 21-inch mower, 18-inch mower, 41 centimeter or 16-inch mower. On a half an acre, you might use a ride-on, in which case then I offer you the chance of a 42, 44, or 48-inch deck. So this basically decides how much time. So if you look down here, a 21-inch mower for 2,000 square meters is going to take you about 65 minutes. If you up that to a 30-inch Tora Time Master or something, you could cut that down to 42 minutes. But if you went on a ride-on, even a small ride-on, you're going to be taking 21 minutes to do it. So really, I mean, it's quite a simple thing, and there's quite a bit of maths that go on behind this. But let's just say we're going to be using a 21-inch mower. It's going to take you just over an hour. I've then added on a factor for collection. So if you tick that box, it then adds a load more time. So this is cut and drop, that's collect, and it's and then you choose whether you're mowing weekly or fortnightly in the season. If you're mowing fortnightly, the grass is going to be longer, so it adds on some more minutes. You can take collection off, it takes the minutes down. Weekly, so here's a weekly cut and drop or a mulch with a 21-inch mower of 2,000 square meters, it's going to take you 65 minutes. Add a bit of collection on, there you go. Then I got 10 minutes of essential setup time. So that's unloading the mowers, fueling up, changing strimmer line, all that sort of stuff, 10 minutes. Obstacles, you need to add this in. So this is things like trampolines, trees you need to go around, gates you need to open. What else have we got? Like different areas of lawn. So some of them might be higher than others. You might have to go up steps, stuff like that. I basically add on 1 minute per obstacle because that's how long, in my experience, it takes to deal with these things. And we're going to strim around the edge. So that actually just does a square root of the area and then adds on a time allowance for that. So on this 2,000 square meter lawn, how long are we adding on here? We're adding a few minutes here. So not long, 4 minutes. What's that? Yeah, 4 minutes it's adding on there to run around the edge and do some strimming. And then we've got the final blowing. So that's again, walking around the site, it's adding 5 minutes on there. So your total time on site is actually going to be 107 minutes, which is interesting because that's all the stuff there that if you're only working on the area of the lawn at 78 minutes, there's 30 minutes worth of additional work on there that you're not even factoring in. So that's why this bit is so important that you add onto your price. So you've got 107 minutes on site. I'm going to say it's 10 miles from base, which then adds 20 minutes onto my price. So I always add on the time from my base. It might be 1 mile down the road from my next job, but if I lose this first job, I've still got to travel to the next job anyway. So that's just a way that I've managed to factor in my travel time for the day that makes it really simple for me. And then I think it works. So they are. I think I've put the average in about 30 miles an hour, something like that, which is what I've found. One of my vans had an average speed on it previously, and I found I was doing about 30 on average. Even though I go down the motorways and then I drive around villages and things, across everything I was doing of tens of thousands of miles, it was about 30 odd. So that's what I've put in there. And then in here, we can put my £47 in. £47 now that we've done on the business planning tab, which now means that my quote is made up of £16 for this 20 minutes here, £84 to cover the 107 minutes on that job, and therefore my total charge per cut is £99. So, and then let's say, I thought I could get £57 an hour. That makes it £120. So depending on what you put in your business plan, you can adjust that. And if you think actually they're not going to be able to afford that, or I want to do some jiggery pokery, help them get down to a price, you can then say I'm going to take off collection, but it's going to become fortnightly, and then that's £89. Let's put it back up to the 47. So it's 104 if they have it fortnightly and without collection. But if you add on collection and make it weekly, then it's 99. So that's the difference, really, between you having, if you just compare collection, £89 with collection, £104. Sorry, I'm not doing collection there, am I? I'm doing weekly or fortnightly. That's the difference between a weekly and a fortnightly cut. A weekly cut, where it's nice and easy, you just go straight through, you're not going to be bogging down or anything, is £89 per cut. And then if you're going there fortnightly, you're going to have to deal with longer grass, it's going to take you longer, so it's £104 per cut. And then there's a difference there. So the collection, so like the worst case scenario is you're going somewhere fortnightly and you're collecting, that's £118 a cut. And whereas if you're weekly collecting, then it's £99 a cut. So that is going to be the premium feature that you'll pay a monthly subscription for to access. Whereas everyone will get the business plan for free, and everyone will get a 7-day free trial to this quotation tool anyway. So there's just a bit of an update for you. And I just need to add a button onto the end of here to email this quote, and it will either email you directly, so you've just got how that quote was arrived at and all the calculations in your own records, so that you can look back on it in the future and say, oh, that's how that price was derived. And then there's another one that you can email directly to the customer that doesn't tell them how the maths are done. It's literally just, we'll be doing it, so we'll say we'll collect, it'll be weekly, and I'll include perimeter trimming and final blowing, something like that. So it's a really basic one. And then you're quoting fixed fee per cut, and they won't have any visibility as to how your price is calculated. So that's what I'm working on next. And then I need to do some testing and get it all uploaded and get Apple to approve it. So we're probably still a couple of months out, but so that's what we're working on. So hopefully you like the look of that, and I'll chat to you in a bit. Thanks very much.